Welcome back to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. This is Raw is Retro from the 6th of April 1998. We're in Syracuse, New York, which is where Shawn Michaels got beaten up by a load of Marines? Was that Syracuse, New York?
It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. I'm going to say, yeah. Take that, Sean.
A growing number of Marines that beat Shawn up. Anyway, I'm Ross. With me, as ever, is Manny.
The First Daddy.
The First Daddy now.
First Daddy. Oh, dang.
Man's got so many nicknames. What am I? Big Boss Man? Ross?
The Big Ross Man.
Big Ross Man.
The Big Ross Man.
All you need is a nice flags out.
Or the other one was Big Boss Bell.
I'll be here next week with a big Confederate flag behind me on the wall. And Marcus as well again. Marcus, the grand finale. Welcome back, sir.
Hello, I want you to open Raw as Retro one day with a Confederate flag and a banjo going.
You do the editing for this, you can make me look really bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Ross.
I think we should do Who's More Racist? Confederate flag. You can put your I don't say your like you actually own one, Manny. Nazi flag.
Yeah, man, you can put your Nazi paraphernalia away.
Well, I was telling Marcus earlier before Two-Pay Tuesday, make sure if you haven't watched that already, go watch that because that was insane. I was gonna full on whiteface. I was gonna buy contact lenses to make my eyes blue, for powder on my face, or just change the lighting to make me look really white.
So every Saturday night,
as a pale-skinned, blue-eyed man, I feel attacked right now. I'm a minority. Leave me alone.
Yes.
Let's get on to Raw, shall we? Austin was released on the same night he was arrested, apparently. Didn't even need 24 hours, just got straight out. He's not learning lessons,
Ross.
He
conformed.
Well, laws were different back in those days.
Something Austin's renowned for. Vince says we'll see a new and improved Stone Cold Steve Austin tonight. JR doesn't believe it, and neither should he.
Why would he? In the last week was like, oh man, did he find Jesus? He met a Muslim in the prison and found Islam and shit. What?
That was enjoying the nation. Our first match of the night is Big Beast, Dan The Beast Severn, with Jim Cornette, of course.
With
taking
all
on Flash.
the gold.
Yes.
All the gold.
I do like that, though. It's pretty cool.
Not since Optimal Dragon have I seen somebody walk out with that much gold. And it's a lot better seeing him do it than when I watched Kenny do it or other people with all their multiple titles because he had so many just wrapped around and it wasn't all on him. It was a good presentation. I respect this man. Even if I didn't have any clue, and at the time of this, I had no clue who Dan Severn was. I saw that and was like, oh, I don't mess with him. He has
no idea
all
what the
those
UFC was, but apparently he's quite good in it. So.
Man, he's a dangerous man.
Yeah. It takes on Flash Funk. Flash has no chance, does he? Obviously. He just gets buried in 2.5 minutes, but fair play to him.
I believed. I thought he was going to get him. Nothing about those 20 titles he brought out. None of the shit they were telling me about him being a dangerous man or even Flash Funk's negative win loss. I thought he had a chance.
There's a point where Severn takes him down to the ground and slaps him around a bit because Cornette says punching down with bare knuckles can break your knuckles. That's the reason that Dan wasn't punching him properly, just slapping him apparently.
Thank you, MMA expert.
Yeah, you got to protect your money makers.
You do, true.
Protect your money makers.
I don't know if he's right, but you know what? This was better hearing Jim Cornette than usual.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, information and not just yelling.
Yeah, everybody want to shoot around here. For 3 minutes.
That's how I imagine his podcast is.
It is. It is. It's exactly like that. And he's just like, fuck all this modern stuff. People jumping on shit. We had men. The
most anti-woke podcast on the internet, I reckon. Human. I was reading a review for this match. I feel like Severn never had the dexterity to be a professional wrestler. He moves around the ring like a wet noodle.
That's agility.
A wet noodle is quite flexible, surely.
Yeah, that's agility.
That didn't exist back in the day. You know, if Dan Severn was wrestling today, he'd be doing tope suicidas through tables outside the ring and Canadian Australian because he was like a wet noodle in the ring. Dan the Wet Noodle Severn. Not the Beast.
I'm making that character on WWE 2K22.
Wet noodle.
Wet noodle. We got back to the ring. DX are on their way down. JR says that Sean was asked about resurrecting DX, but he didn't give him an answer. Yeah, odd. Road Dogg says that DX is now comprised of the best young talent in the business. I mean, at this point, Billy Gunn must be 40. If he's in his 60s now, he must be 40.
Is he 60? Billy Gunn's 60 right now?
Billy Gunn's 60.
Like
and he looks insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 50. Yeah, 60. Yeah, he probably is. Yeah.
So this is 24 years ago. Yeah, he must have been like pushing 40, if not in his 40s. So, I mean, Road Dogg really pushing the boundaries of young there, but fine. We'll take it. They're young, they're hungry, and they want to get jiggy with it, apparently. It's, Helmsley's bazooka is locked, cocked, and ready to unload.
Oh,
you get it, yeah.
Triple H and his dick jokes.
Yeah, but this is the start of in your house, fully loaded soon.
I mean, I was all into this. I had the DX69 shirt, the football shirt, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
it's so embarrassing to look back now.
Yeah, and then even with my man titties, I was hoping they asked me to pull up my shirt to flash. I was into it. Didn't care. No matter how racist they were. Love this DX. Love them.
Yeah, DX in no way copying a gimmick from the NWO. Starts spray painting DX on things backstage.
That guy didn't deserve this.
Everything they did, I felt like they deserved their ass kicked. They're horrible people. But as a kid, I'm going like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, look at those big bullies.
Oh, look at them bullying people. It's great.
Peeing on motorcycles and shit. I do that.
Speaking about that,
yeah.
If he was actually doing that, you see on camera Triple H staring at Road Dogg's cock at that point.
Yeah.
Because he's full on looking that way as Road Dogg's in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, huh? This guy may not measure up. May not measure up to the team.
Questionable.
Next match, and arguably the best match we've seen on this entire run, is Steve Blackman versus Brian Christopher. It goes for 5 minutes, which is an absolute age for a Raw match.
I think the longest one we've ever had was 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? We get some world building in this as Sawyer Brown. I don't know who the fuck that is, but he's going to do backup vocals for Jeff Unforgiven for his big concert.
I don't like the sounds Tennessee Lee makes. Oh, it always does it. I'm just like, why are you doing this?
I just know this man's been a part of my childhood for managers, and I go like, I don't know. I think he's on the lower tier of my managers. I have Fuji and Heenan and all these other people. Slick. Everybody's ahead of Colonel Parker, but he was around so long on every show. Like he's like from show to show.
He looks like he belongs on Dallas.
I'm sure that is where he's modelled his gimmick on. It's got to be like J.R. Ewing. Like that is what he's playing basically.
That's who JBL decided to be too. He was like, he's like Dallas. I never heard that show. I was trying to be Tennessee Lee.
Blackman gets the win. Bicycle kick and then a hammerlock, one-arm hammerlock with a quite nice submission finish. It's a good match, this. Good back and forth between two good wrestlers.
I like Steve Blackman, man. I wish he was.
Oh, man, BC was great.
BC's a really good. He's been my favourite so far this entire run we've done. He's just put really good wrestling all the time.
Yeah.
It's a shame what he'd become.
Judas in my mind. I feel like saying that. I don't know why.
More DX shenanigans backstage.
No, you're leaving out Jarrett hitting him, smashing the guitar on Blackman.
Oh yes, one of many Jarrett guitar shots.
Smash it.
I don't think one thing you can say about Jeff Jarrett, he's never fucked up his guitar spots. They always land flush on the head.
He's on
they
point.
Never break before it gets there. It's never a bot. It's always, this is my one move I do right.
This is it. This is my special move. Triple H is daring the Outlaws and Xbox to piss on the DOA's Titan bikes. They do.
Bold move. Bold move.
Yeah.
I put myself in both perspectives of peeing on the bike. It was like, what they gonna do? And then I put it as a DOA going like, I have to fight them. I have to kill them. Like pissing on a motorcycle. That is like, I'm gonna smell that all the way as I drive everywhere I go. Like, oh man.
We cut back to the ring. We get a Cactus Jack. He's in the ring with a neck collar. I don't like seeing Cactus Jack wearing the neck collar. It just seems wrong. Like he should be above that. It should be above serious injury.
That's like saying a healthy Mick Foley. Yeah. Just not right. Just never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 100% Mick? You're not feeling any pain? Shit.
Yeah. Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
That happened, Cactus gets pissed off that the crowd are chanting for Austin all the way through it. And just kind of basically just almost retires the Cactus Jack character at this point. For a couple of years.
With all due respect, Mick Foley, this was the worst thing you've ever done.
What?
This promo was trash.
It was terrible.
I like this promo. I liked it.
I'm gonna go walk away because you were cheering for Austin.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Austin. He was upset. But he was just frustrated about everything in his life and dying for these people. It was basically his anti-hardcore version of himself that he was doing at ECW in a way, but he wasn't really that hardcore here. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy Mick Foley promos because he puts his heart and soul in each other. He believes everything he's saying. And fuck those people for starting chanting Austin, as my friend is getting lynched on top of a cage. and I'm getting beat to the hell by Billy Gunn and shit. Like, no.
Yeah.
Screw you people. Austin
says this is the last time we'll see Cactus Jack for a long time. Well, I mean, a year and a half. He's back by 2000. And then again, multiple times throughout the years.
Yeah. Cactus Jack DNA run.
We see earlier in the day the Nation of Domination beating up Farouk again. In the parking lot. Poor Farouk. Can't catch a fucking break in this guy.
They all took turns holding the camera.
I want to say this. If I can work for a company or anybody that has team cohesion like the Nation did right here with swapping cameras and getting their shit in, Farouk, their former leader, this is a full dream because it was seamless. They never lost focus of the camera. They always like, go get yours, go get mine. And I feel like this proved that The Rock is a better leader than Farouk could ever be because they were never on the same page while Farouk was in charge.
He's not a leader. He's a ruler.
Yeah, true. Rock's the ruler of the nation. We get a really good match again. We've had two matches so far tonight. Well, we've had the squash match to start with, but there's two really good matches. This is the Rock, the IC title match against Owen Hart. There's a bit of shenanigans in it, as you can imagine. DX is still messing with Owen, and the Rock, the Nation trying to kind of interfere straight away, but get sent to the back. But just these two can go at it, and I could watch this for a long time. 5 minutes is not enough for this.
Yeah, they had amazing chemistry, and I was like, "This is a match," because you watching The Rock, you're like, "Oh, he's a rising star," and you watch him, and you're like, "But he's more of a character." But then you watch this match, and you realize, no, he can actually go. And Owen just shows how great he was, and just do it, wrestle anybody, any size, any speed, just change his style up, and it's like, oh, we're gonna have a good match for the IC title.
How long do we get before Owen joins the Nation? I can't remember.
I think it's after.
I think it's after SummerSlam.
Okay.
With the
yeah.
He just has enough, doesn't he? Basically, and just joins with them to have some backup, basically against DX.
Which I was like, Rock, what are you doing? What are you doing? No fish, Ross. But a white guy shouldn't be in a Nation of Domination.
Nope, he shouldn't have been. I can't wait until we get to that era, and I want to see, because I think for me and Manny, that's not been taken off of the network, the Blacking Up segment.
I have a feeling it has.
Oh, has it?
I have a feeling it has.
It off Peacock, yeah.
Peacock's definitely taken off, haven't they?
Yeah, we're not gonna allow the blackface on it, and I'm against them changing any form of history
because they've done it twice as well. It happened twice.
Yeah.
And the way Raw shows video pay, that episode is going to be like 10 minutes because they show recap 2 seconds of everything. So I'm assuming that episode is going to be like 5 minutes of like, we could show half the show or reference anything about them going blackface on this. But I also like this episode because the parallels of The Rock and Triple H career are just seamless. They both became leaders in their particular large fashion at the same time. They're battling for the Intercontinental title probably, about a year from now, maybe less?
It's less than that because it happens at SummerSlam 98.
SummerSlam, yeah, the ladder match.
Yeah, so their parallels are insane. And it's just,
future's bright at this point.
Yep.
There's definitely no way they can ruin it by buying the competition. Anyway, that's the end of Raw. Let's enter the war zone, shall we? And Vince is in the ring with a couple of policemen. He's got a new belt for Austin. Oh, well, he's got a new champion, hasn't he? He's got a new Austin. He's here.
Austin still looks weird in a suit, and I couldn't imagine this man wearing a suit anywhere ever, or just a tie, maybe. I don't know.
I like when he put the tie on with his shirt, that sort of stuff, with his Austin t-shirt but a tie around his neck. Like that's how I imagine Austin wears a suit.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Owens, basically.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine Austin, even if it was like, hey, you're going to be Steve Austin today. It's going to be a very formal event. And I see him in a shirt and tie. Even at this Hall of Fame ceremony, it looks weird whenever he's in a suit.
Yeah, it's just not right. Yeah. This is a segment everyone must have seen. If you're watching this, you've definitely seen this segment before. This is the suited Austin almost following what Vince says, but then doesn't end up being that way, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold becomes Stone Cold again.
Take that Polaroid. Let me get that Polaroid. Take a picture. Let's take a picture. And this will be, and I remember the exact line when he says it. This will be the absolute last time. And I remember going, yeah! Yeah, I can cheer. I thought he sold out. I thought that jail sentence really did it. I know how jail changed people. I've had people in my family go to jail and it changes them. I thought it changed Austin. But nope, he hit him in the nuts. And I was like, yeah.
I liked how the breaking down of this whole corporate Austin was going, because he looked at it like the hat. Why aren't you wearing the Gucci shoes that we got for you?
Yeah,
because they're all comfortable.
I just put on my wrestling boots, Vince. I like that he wasn't allowed to climb the ropes and do his normal intro. It felt like
That's when we thought he joined that's when I thought he joined the nation.
Like, what was wrong with climbing the ropes? Nah, champion don't do that.
No, it's got to be more dignified than that. I like JR's classic line of rattlesnakes don't make corporate pets. That's a good one.
Yep.
Good line there. After the break, we get the DOA come out to the ring to call out DX. Great.
Yay.
DOA.
Yeah, these guys are cool, right? They're cool.
With their pissy bikes.
Cool. Yeah, they're pissy bikes. Your bike smells like piss. Your bike smells like a 4-year-old's mattress. Just pissy.
Next up, we get Luna.
That smells like a 14-year-old girl around arcade.
we get Luna taking on Matt Knowles. In a match.
Luna beat up a man.
I suppose, yeah. Goldust beat him up before the bell. Ref just watches, lets it happen. Like he's quite happy. This is fine, apparently.
And that was my new strategy for every wrestling match I will participate in. Say what? I can have like Vader just come in, beat a guy up, and then I come in at the end of it. Shit.
Yeah,
that's how you play 2K22.
Yeah.
She hits a monkey flip and then a flying headbutt, and that's the win. 28 seconds. Thanks, Matt.
Good job. Good jump. Flying headbutt. I didn't think she was gonna make that. I was like, that's pretty far. But she got that. She got that like Bryan Danielson Benoit distance on that shit.
Next match is Mark Marrow taking on Ken Shamrock. I'm getting a bit bored of Mark Marrow at this point.
Now? It's just
now.
I mean, I love the Tom Brandy stuff, obviously. We all did. It's the highlight of the Attitude Era for me, but...
I don't know if it was this match or last week's one where he said, Sable, at WrestleMania 14, I gave you everything. But now get your ass to the back.
Now, I feel like at that point, why is she with him? At this point, when you're that cold to cows, when you made her walk all the way in them hills and then go, man, get your ass out of here. You stole the spotlight from me at WrestleMania. I gave you everything you needed.
Yeah. Shamrock wins, obviously, because it's Mark Marrow. And then the Nation come down. And the Nation, led by the new ruler, are a well-oiled machine, aren't they, at this point? Taking people out with just ruthless efficiency.
Yes. They're strategic now. I mean, The Rock is the leader. He's clearly a leader. And this is why I voted for him for president of the United States, right here. He unifies people.
I'm waiting for that to happen. And then, unfortunately, they're going to put up the Chinese voice Rock and the pie stuff. And...
of course. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And all his promos.
Yeah.
He can't be trusted. Look what he did to Farouk. Fuck.
And he recorded it. He got his own camera. He wasn't even. He didn't get anyone on payroll to record it. He brought his own camera to record this beatdown. This is a mugging.
I got this gang footage from the potential president of the United States.
That would have been on World Star in this day and age.
Oh no, they would have. I think in modern age they would have put that on Instagram Live and them jumping Farouk, and it would have just been on his feed. And it's like, damn.
Comments would have been absolute fire. We hear from the Undertaker. The Undertaker's here for the first time since WrestleMania. He calls it a desperate match. A desperate act by a desperate man is what the Inferno match is by the Undertaker. Then we cut to Kane and Paul Bearer at the live grave site of Kane and Taker's parents.
Authentic too. This looked authentic. Didn't look like a set at all.
No, not at all. The other time we saw that, Undertaker was just casually lying by the tombstones. Saying that he had to beat up Kane.
Kane destroys the tombstones and then sets them on fire. What are they made of? Tombstones are made of granite. They don't set on fire, do they?
I don't know. Maybe Undertaker, since he did kill them anyway, was like, it'd be ironic. That was that bird.
If I made their tombstones flammable, highly flammable gravestones.
He didn't have that much money back then. He was a child when they died.
He was a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, that funeral parlor was pretty rich. It was pretty. He has that Batman money or some shit.
Our main event of the evening, the DOA are in the main event. Firstly, let's just point that out. But it is taking on the New Age Outlaws and Triple H with Triumph back at ringside. It's weird how the X kind of avoided the gang warfares, didn't they?
Yeah,
they weren't part of this at all
because they're big time, Ross.
Yeah, Triple H was not having this shit.
I'm not doing main event. I'm not feuding with the Bariquas or Team Cass. I feel like they've been around long enough. But
6.5 minutes. 6.5 minutes of the DOA. Yeah,
because 6 was on commentary. That's why, and he was terrible. He had nothing to say. Just there.
I feel they had all types of nonsense in main events at this time frame because we had Mark Marrow and Goldust as a main event once.
Yeah. Just throw any shit out there for main event.
You can't get away with this shit today.
What's the equivalent today of this?
This would be Tozawa and Tamina versus Dana Brooke and Reginald. We're just gonna close roll with that. Okay. For the Hurt Business, who are not even in the Hurt Business anymore. Against Ricochet and
that's the United States champion. You can't put Ricochet in that.
Oh, that's too good. That's too good. I'm sorry. That's too good. The Los Lotharios then.
Yeah, Los Lotharios against the Hurt Business. Main eventing Raw.
Correction. Ricochet is an intercontinental champion.
Oh yeah, one of them.
Come on, Manny. Those titles are definitely not interchangeable.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there'll be some idiot in the comments be like, Manny did this thing. And looking at you, Montez, Red Cup.
I would have been, yeah, Manny, what's going on? Everybody knows Ricochet's the Intercontinental Champion. But If I'm the DOA, I could never wrestle again after this night. Not only did these guys piss on my bike, I called them out, and then I got my ass whooped. I was completely owned in this episode, and I would not be able to show my face for a while. Like, I
don't know. In this day and age, if I was that and I wanted to be on TV, I'd call everyone out, even if it meant getting beaten up every week.
Just anyone.
At least I'm getting paid.
Hey, I'm calling you out.
LOD come out to make the save after the match because obviously Triple H wins the pedigree. And then they beat up the DOA some more. And then the old boys of LOD 2000 come out. Are we heading to LOD versus the Outlaws still?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
It lasts like a week, and I think Hawk goes crazy, right? And they break up, and they bring draws or something.
That's going to happen pretty soon, I think. Yeah, we kind of dug into that. At Unforgiven, we get the Outlaws versus the LOD 2000 for a tag team titles.
That already sounds so much fun.
Yeah. I love the Outlaws, but good God, not against LOD 2000.
At this point, we say LOD 2000 reminds me of the goddamn Blues Brothers 2000 movie. For whatever reason, when everybody's attaching 2000 to everything because it was like 2 years away. It's cool. It's cool. 2000 is cool.
We're 2 weeks away from Unforgiven. Currently, we've got that tag team title match. Austin hasn't got a championship match scheduled in at this point. Undertaker versus Cayman in the Inferno match, and Sable versus Luna in the Evening Gown match.
That's a buy for me.
I mean, that's 14-year-old Ross Evening Gown match with Sable. Yeah, I'm buying this.
We didn't pay for this. We never paid for these.
Did we not? Were these all on Sky Sports?
These were on Sky Sports. We never paid for any of these.
It was just the 4, wasn't it? The big
that makes it sound like we stole them. No, they aired them for free on
free
Sky Sports.
TV, basically, if you paid for
free internet. No one stole anything on television-wise. Free internet. I mean, early stage of internet where you're trying to download any type of video, it take you 2 years.
Shit, yeah. 36
I'm downloading Unforgiven. Oh, yeah? Go ahead. Watch someone make a phone call and ruin your download.
That was always the worst.
Yeah. Mom, get off the phone.
No!
Damn it.
Get on the phone. Get on the phone. No.
I'm on MSN Messenger. Get off.
How am I ever going to download? How am I ever going to download this track from an app store?
Which was inevitably the wrong track as well. They're always mistitled.
It'd be a loop chorus or something.
Yeah.
I'm downloading this image of Sable. It's not working.
Coming in
and I'm saving it to my floppy disk.
Oh, Christ. That is it. That's this episode of Raw. This was quite a good episode of Raw, actually. It was some good matches. Some good stuff happened. It's not like there's no sort of momentous occasions, but just a good, solid episode of Raw. Yeah. Your match of the night, Marcus?
I think I'm going with the main event, the DX one. Even though it wasn't the best. Yeah, it wasn't the best. I know. I wanted to go Dan Severn, but I just like seeing the DOA get their ass whooped. It's just part of my DNA. And if I could make a match, it would be the parking lot brawl between Farouk and the entire nation.
Manny, match of the night.
Steve Blackman versus Brian Christopher.
Oh, okay. Good, really good match.
It was.
That had a real finish because Owen and The Rock was a DQ.
No, you're true. That is my match of the night, but it did have a DQ finish. But I just enjoyed their kind of 3 or 4 minutes they had without all the shenanigans.
And I could have very nearly had the wet noodle win.
It was a toss-up. He still has the wet noodle.
And your MVP, Manny?
It's got to be the Nation. It really has to be the Nation for me.
They're on form.
For that timeless video. It's like... somehow I feel like it was like this.
Now pass it over, but keep the focus. They had to train.
Yeah. For the first time in 4 months, the Nation looked like a real faction. Actually, you're going to win some stuff.
Like a team finally got their shit together.
Marcus, your MVP?
Well, I'm going to give it to DX for the simple fact that they were just they did what they said they were going to do. They said they were going to wreak havoc, and they were pissing and spray painting. China hit somebody with a bat, and didn't be happy about it.
But you just walked off. She smashed Owen and just walked off.
Yeah. Can't believe you made me do this. I hit him with a bat. Who am I, Sting? And it walked away. And I was like, oh, were they teasing that she's not on board with this new, more immature DX? Even though they were worse.
Yeah, they were serious before.
Yeah.
The sausages and the stuff with slaughter and all sort of stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't condone any of this stuff, or strip poker in the ring. That's what we used to do. Now we're hitting people with baseball bats.
This is what we do.
That's what we do now.
We beat up 50-year-old Terry Funk and shit. Nah, this is not cool, guys. But no,
my MVP for the night is Vince McMahon. I thought he was superb in that segment with Austin. His face when Austin says about that's the last time you'll ever see me in a suit. So good.
He's so bougie. He's so stuck up.
Yeah.
And every reaction he does, he's just so good at this. I don't know. Austin.
He just get it, and he just gets it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of this week's episode. Make sure you are subscribed to us at The Sharpshooters on YouTube, Sharpies Network on Twitter. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on everything. We're all over all the social media accounts. Make sure you follow us all on there. Subscribe, share, like, comment, do all that sort of stuff. If you're not part of the mid-card mess, become a part of it.
Yeah.
Find it on Facebook.
I've stopped thirst trapping in there for a bit.
Manny has eased off. My phone couldn't take the notifications.
Well, Manny, how am I going to get my Nikita Lyons photos now?
I'm on hiatus.
He's coming back. He'll come back.
Or my Luda Bashan photos.
What happens is someone's going to throw up a bat signal of like a booty, and that's when you know I'm back.
You're going to get Michael Keaton stand up immediately.
Yeah. Everyone looks up like, Manny's back.
That's the next Photoshop then. Manny is the Batman. Looking at a booty symbol.
Yeah, it's going to be a booty symbol, and Michael Keaton's representing everybody in that group's erection. And that's what rising up into the light.
We will be back in next week as we are on the road to Unforgiven. I mean, we're so excited about it. But
Marcus, will you be back next week?
Maybe. We'll see. Depending on what my schedule do. Let's see where we're at.
But yes, we will be back, regardless if it's a 2-man or a 3-man show. We'll be back, and maybe Eric will join us for one of these at some point. But
I'm going to piss on somebody's motorcycle. Just total bad influence. Wrestling is bad for me.
I mean, there's no other better line to go out on that, so we'll see you next week. Bye.